But I said things
So
like this before to where it's like, because naturally I'm not going to be somebody who gets involved in the public space, I guess you say, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because I've
because yeah,
in starting this whole goddamn thing, right? It's like I've said this to myself a million times, but it's like you only hear from people like me when shit's really bad.
mm, mm,
Like you finally got me out of the woods. What do you want? Oh my god,
mm,
the world's falling apart. I know.
mm,
Tell me more about it.
mm.
Tell me something I don't know. And it's
Yeah,
be
right.
like, yeah, that's what it takes to
Mm.
get here, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But a lot of people flock to this shit naturally. I definitely don't, but
Mm.
I mean, if you want to see change, you better be the example of it, I guess, right?
Yes, indeed, indeed. Night tonight, TikTok. I gotta go back
Right.
live. I took a break. My mama done been here. I gotta get back on, man.
Yeah.
People want to get to know me. They want to know what I do. They want to learn something. Tonight is all about helping people fix something. There's something in your house you want to fix. If it's that loose doorknob, that loose door, if it's that light that's keep flickering in your bedroom, what is it? I can help you. That's
The
my
common DIY stuff.
yeah, yeah, just common things. You'll be surprised how many people things around people, as you already know, around people's house that they need fixed, and it'd be the simplest shit that they don't know how. Don't know how or whatever. It's part of it.
Right.
What's
These are the
that?
good hits. I was listening to Simon
Mm,
Sinek and Jocko. They had a podcast I watched like a week ago. It's a really good one. But
mm,
one thing I took away from it was Simon was talking about dopamine and how so many of the things that are involved in our day are just for like little dopamine hits, whether it's the social
mm,
media, whether it's your day trading, whether it's your watching your stocks, whether it's the cheap dopamine stuff. But he's like, really, you don't really want that. What you really want is to be optimizing for like serotonin and oxytocin. He's like, because these are the things you get from like a long time thing finally coming to fruition. Whether it's a plan, whether it's
huh,
you're starting to work out and you're starting to get results, you get these serotonin hits and these
mm,
oxytocin hits, which are much more impactful for your life than something like a dopamine hit. Because dopamine is cheap and easy, but people are
mm,
addicted to it because it kind of gets them that little bump, gets them that little bump. Oh, somebody sent me a message on my social. Oh yeah, somebody liked my
mm,
thing, right? That kind of
mm.
stuff. Yeah, that's really
Uh,
applicable.
Can we
Everybody can
tap
feel that
into
one
that?
today.
That's big. That
What the
subject.
dopamine? The
That
cheap, the cheap, the cheap dopamine hits.
yes, that's what we all
Yeah,
are seeking now. That's what the society has
but
like bombarded
that's
us
what
with
that's what he was
because
saying.
that's why bullying is a thing and it's very bad now. And it's these things because of that. Yeah, because they everything that the society wants you to expect is for things to just be working out, things to be great. These
Well,
dopamine
easy.
hits, like the likes, the views, the everything being accepted. That is what it's all about. That's why they don't even do paper interviews no more. I'm sorry, applications and interviews. Even though we jumped to the social world, but society has changed it to where it's more social than going to get a job because going to get turned down by a job is not as attractive. It's not as acceptable as it is doing it through the internet. Like it's so much of society
Or
has changed
the
for
pain, the
those
pain of
dopamine
rejection
hits.
is
It has to me it's crumbling. It's
the pain of
deteriorating us.
rejection is easier to handle online.
Say it again.
Said the pain of rejection is easier to handle online.
Correct. Then
Well,
in
yeah,
person. Yeah,
yeah.
correct. I mean, that's just the way it is now. Like you can get way more flack or way more discipline if you were to be let's say subjective in person than you are would be online. Way more. You can hide. They got VPNs, they got a whole bunch of things you can hide yourself from online, but in person, you damn near can lose your house because now everybody in the neighborhood feel like you're a racist now. So the perspective more important I mean, in person is more important than it would be online. So to me, that's what they're trying to get rid of. That that close encounter, you
Sounds like
know,
you're trying to they're trying to and your words here is trying to save people from rejection, largely.
that's not I'm not trying to do anything.
Well,
But
no, you're
that's
just I'm
what
just saying that's what
society I
you're
feel like
describing. Yeah.
yes. That's what society I feel like is trying to do more than ever. I know you haven't noticed this. Come on,
Well,
BLM. What do you want?
they wrote a
What do you
book
want?
about this.
You want
They wrote a book
white
about this a few years back. This guy, Jonathan Haidt, he's a pretty smart dude, hangs out with Jordan
uh
Peterson, I think, occasionally. But, he wrote a book, him and a friend of his, called The Coddling of the American Mind.
hmm, hmm.
It's a good book, good concept, and it's basically all on point from what I can tell. It's basically the coddling of the American mind, the participation trophy,
Mm,
the
mm,
inability to let them feel rejection, like you're talking about. Like these
mm.
lumps are so important for the like resiliency of the animal, and you're coddling their mind from all of these lessons that they really need. Maybe even into like the timeouts versus like physical consequences of whatever sort, right? Like I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
we didn't believe in a timeout. You know, it was more the
Yeah, timeout.
physical
Kids laugh at you for timeouts. What is going on, man?
timeout. Yeah, that was a joke. But the physical
It's
meant way
kind of a
more.
joke.
It was more. It was more. So it was just more efficient. It was more lasting than it would be for a timeout. Like to give you an example, my mother can put me out in timeout, let's say 10 times in a week, but she'll whoop my ass one time in a week. So that's the difference. There's more longevity
Yeah,
to it. It's more substantial. It's more,
I
it really
think
sends that
it's these
message.
are all just tools.
Yeah,
These
tools.
are
Yeah,
all just tools. You're supposed to use the appropriate tool at the appropriate time. I think the thing largely is that people get carried away, used to get carried away with the more physical because it was like
yeah, yeah,
something you
yeah,
had
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
like I've heard Jordan Peterson talk about before how all right, well, you want to don't just go straight to physical punishment. Like, have
Correct.
you exhausted all of your other options before you got there? Or
Yes,
are you just being
yes.
lazy because you're tired or whatever the thing is? Are you just an asshole or
Mm,
whatever the thing is, right?
mm.
Yeah.
My that's so true because I remember my level of using all my options basically in a tool shed before I moved to physical.
There's
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
learned my way very fast. And it was actually my mother's tactics that was passed down to me. She probably didn't know she passed them down, but I've used them. It was basically get under their skin without no touch. So give an example. I remember my boy, he was my firstborn, he was 4 at this time. He just wouldn't stop doing, so he was throwing something at the wall, something crazy. And I told him to stop doing, he wouldn't stop. So without no physical interaction, I I got up to him. This is his head right here. His ear will be in the palm of my hand. I got up to him very close like this, as if we almost, I was kissing him on the cheek, and I spoke to him in a very just a close manner, and he began to just humble himself and change his direction on what he was doing. And as I left him, it stood itself, without me using no physical. So I weighed out my options. I exhausted all my options before that point. So because my mother used to use those same tactics. She used to just look at me. It was her thing was just looking at me, and she used to do. I'm not gonna do the face because the face is real ugly. But my mother would do this face, and I'll know what the hell she meant by that from a far distance. It can be
Well, it's
fucking
it's any kid, right? You learn when your parents mean business, you know.
not all, no, no, not all kids, but
Well,
not
they
all
pick
kids.
up on
No,
no,
don't say
dude,
that.
no,
Don't
you
say that
know.
because it
No,
took it took her
no.
physical action to get me there though. It didn't start at that though. It took. I'm sorry, I said this
Well, that's
already.
fine because you knew
Okay,
she was
okay.
playing softball, but when your kid
Yes.
knows when the parent flips, and they know when they're getting serious, I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
The
with you.
whole
I'm with you.
atmosphere of the room
I'm with
just changes.
you. And it's not all parents though. We're talking about
No,
the
not all
selective few.
parents, but, like, that
Yeah.
moment you're describing is that yeah, the kid fucking knows, dude. The
Mm,
kid knows what time it
mm.
is.
Oh yeah.
'Cause they'll continue to
Yeah.
push buttons and push buttons till they know, "Uh-oh, not time to push
Oh
buttons
yeah.
no more."
Do you know how early? Do you know how early? Oh, this is a good one right here. So do you know how early that they really start that pushing that button until they know how far to go? Do you know how early that start in the child age, growth, birth, like from birth? When
Short,
does that start? You
short,
think? Just give me a guess. When do you think that
shortly.
start?
I'm trying.
Say it again. Say it again.
Short. I said I was trying. You kept going. But shortly after birth, maybe like 2. That's what the
2 what,
terrible twos are
years
all
or 2
about, you
weeks?
know?
2
2
when?
years.
No, 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 my
That's the
friend.
terrible twos.
No, it's way sooner than that. Way sooner than you
Yeah.
think. And I know I kind of knew most people when they answer this question is going to be a later age because my tactics of raising my children started very young because my mother knew. I knew as I saw other children, other friends go through this to where once that child I'm talking about 2, 3 weeks in. Once they're screaming at night, late at night, it could be 3 o'clock in the morning. If it's not about them needing their pamper change or needing a bottle to be comforted, there's nothing else to be needed. It started at a young age. My mother told me this or taught me this because she said he did that to me, and I use this tactic, and it has worked. My nephew still to this day, he can't shake off the fact that when his child is crying, he cannot get her from stop crying. It's because she knows that from when she was I'm talking about 3 weeks old, that every time she
Manipulation.
screamed, yelled
Yeah.
wolf, would it cry wolf? Every time she cried wolf, daddy or mommy came to comfort them. And they learned
True.
it so
True.
young.
True.
I started so young with my daughter, and still to this day, she knows. I'm not saying she's perfect. I'm not saying that it's supposed to work every time. I'm saying for me, it worked to where she knows unless it's of an importance, do not request for me unless it's of an importance to you. When I'm talking about when you're in states of sadness, angry, whatever it may be. I'm not talking about in any situation. If you need me, you need me. I'm here for you at any time, 100%. But if it's of an importance, it needs to be that. That's all. Not because you want to get your way, not because you want me to hear you, not because you want to, go somewhere where your mommy told you no, and now you're trying to sucker up to me and get my attention to go to to the movies or whatever it may be. Not that.
Playing the fence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
playing a fence. Kids play the fence at 3 weeks.
Oh
3 weeks,
man.
man. 3 weeks.
I deal with a lot of that right now. They ask
Mm.
me something, I tell them no. They go ask mommy because I told them no, that kind of thing. And like they want a different answer. I'm like, no, you ain't getting one. I don't care what they said. This arrangement was already going down before whatever. I want to see you round me off. That shit pisses me off so bad. But
Mm.
yeah.
So this effect of women or men treating a child like a friend and
Mm.
not their children, do you think this resides more on women or men?
Men. Well, I say it because men allow it. Mhm.
You see, you going, nah, you crazy for that, man. You can't do
Mhm.
that. You
Men
can't do
allow it.
that. You saying
People are with the
they allow what the mother, would be doing. They're allowing that, and that's what makes it worse than the
well,
men or
they're
more.
allowing that situation, allowing that behavior, because the mom is wants to, like, dip in all the time as naturally they would, but you really need to have a conversation about it and be like, "Look, this is why this is not working. This is why this is not good. This is why this is not good long term. This is why this is not good short term. This is really setting the wrong impression. This is really putting us down a
Mm,
bad road." But because if you had that conversation, then it's usually you 2 can work on the same page, right? And then it becomes a lot
mm,
easier.
mm. Damn, I'll be honest. Going into that question, I didn't think of it that way. I went directly in thinking, of course, the majority. My answer would
Well,
have been women. My answer would have been women, because it starts there. But you're calling the shots where it's ending up, where it ends. Which is with the man. He's
right.
allowing.
We're
But
at the highest level, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna argue. It's just tough to argue that because I take big responsibility of the things in my life and my family or whatever it may be. So I give
I
you.
blame men for basically every problem.
That's hey. I'm my worst critic, so I
I'll
can't.
go
And
on and I'll have my rants about women, I'll have my rants about society, but really, I basically put all the problems at the feet of men,
mm,
you know?
wow. I will say, like I said, I didn't look at the bigger
Yeah,
picture in
swung
that
you
that
for a
regard.
loop.
But yeah, you did because I go entering that question, like I told you, my answer was women, but I didn't consider that I am my
Mm.
worst critic and I hold myself responsible before anybody. So
Well, who?
yeah,
What you got to think about is who's the leader.
yeah, I know it go. I know where you're going. I know where you're going. That's why
Mhm, mhm.
I
Yeah,
changed
yeah, yeah.
I'm allowed to
Because
change my
because
answer.
the because the buck has to stop somewhere, and it usually, I mean, the leader gets the blame, but he also gets the credit. So
Oh yes, yes, yes. Simple
everybody
said.
wants
Simple
to.
said.
It's easy to point at the leader when the blame part is coming, and it's easy to want to be the leader when the credit part is coming. But you
Correct.
got to be able
Correct.
to weather both, right?
Yes, 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 yes. Man, shout out
That's
to
why
that. That was a good
Michael.
that was a good stuff.
There you
Whoa.
go.
Wow.
But as Michael say about it, shit, I think I lost it now.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But he's talking about leaders before, and it's like, yeah, it's a thankless position.
Yes. Thankless
That's the worst
position.
part about it. That's why
Depend on
nobody
you.
wants to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. Some people don't like, yeah, yeah,
It's
depend on, yeah.
thankless. In the end, it's thankless because it's like, yeah, but that's what you were supposed to do. It's like, oh, what the fuck?
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like I eat last and everybody else eats, but that's what you're supposed to do. It's like, God damn it.
That's a tough subject there of what your role is really. What because once again we go back to that thing. Well,
Well,
my roles as a man is different from your
mm,
roles in your household. So you can never make that a basic statement of, as long as you play this role as a
well,
man, you
there's
should do,
traditional roles, and then
not everybody's think
yeah.
about traditional roles. That's once again it becomes did I lose you? Oh,
Well, there
once
is a
yeah.
natural base of roles. What people do with that after that is on them, but there is a traditional base. Like nature has a base. There is a normal operating system for humans as much as people want to argue about it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I will
But get
say this.
closer to survival. People will see.
My roles has only come from what has been uh accounted to me, meaning my roles growing up was everything. It was taking out the trash, doing my laundry. And my mother taught me as a young man. She didn't say, "Oh, this is what a man does." She just said, "You need to know how to do this because if you live on your own, you know how to do these things before a woman. Before you even meet a woman, you know how to do these things for yourself." So my roles was basically everything until I met someone to where they felt as though these things was their roles. Washing clothes, doing dishes, cleaning up that, certain parts of the house that I don't, that she wouldn't allow think that a man would be doing. That only came from her way of feeling like what her role is, but my role was everything. So she's actually, taking a big load off on me by me, doing it her way, not my way. And I'm okay with that because, life comes with, different adversities depending on who you with and, who you marry. So to me, mine came with this is that her roles is doing other things. To me, my roles it's just about everything. I really don't care.
Well, you say
Not, nothing exhausts me.
I heard you talking about the stuff when you were younger, right? And you were talking about your roles with the trash and stuff. I would
Yeah.
suggest though that roles aren't tasks necessarily.
Hmm. Hmm.
Roles are more like keeping the house straight is somebody that's a big part. That's a big thing. But that's
What is keeping the
somebody's
house
role.
straight to you? What is that? Give me an example.
I like the
It can
dirty
be a lot.
dishes, the dirty laundry laying around, just like shit that's all fucked up, right? It's like that's a role. It's more than a task, isn't it?
Yeah, it sounds
A
like a
role.
task. The more you talk about it, it's more sound like a task still.
Well, you asked me in what ways specifically, but I think that like I said, like keeping the house straight, bringing in the money is a role.
Mm.
Making sure the kids have what they need for school. That's usually somebody's. Maybe people split it, but I mean that
Mm.
those are split roles at that point. But
Yeah.
there's I don't know. I keep thinking in my head because you like the task thing. That's fine. It's
Yeah.
but it seems like roles are bigger than that. Roles are like an overarching mission, I guess. That's kind of part
Okay.
of the group.
Okay.
that kind of thing. I don't know. It just seems like something that you should delineate between the two. Because yes,
Yeah.
your kids gotta know how to do laundry. They gotta know how to wash a dish. They gotta know how to cook something, or fuck was peanut
We
butter and
were
jelly,
I
but
was
something for themselves.
My mother prepared me to take on all the roles so that I wouldn't just depend on a woman. And now that I'm older, I see the difference in some men to
Okay.
where without having someone with those roles, they're not complete. They don't know how to take care of themselves properly. So I'm glad she afforded me with that. But I will say I've lightened my stance, meaning I may be a bit rusty if I was put out by myself now at this point because I became accustomed and normalized her taking on those roles.
Complacent.
That's why I'm speaking of this in a bad manner. Like I said, I've gotten rusty. I mean, it may not be good for me, but I'm married, so it doesn't
Mm,
matter. I'm supposed to be married for the rest of my life, so I should be all right. Do you think that there should be spouse, relationship, or married people should have any entering friendships that you had previously relationships with? That's a simple question. If you had any previously, I don't care if it was a kiss, a hug that was affectionate with the friend, whatever. Any intimate relation, it
uh,
can be no sex, even no physical, but y'all wanted to be with each other. It can be that too. Because remember, people exclude that from
platonic.
the physical.
Platonic, yeah.
But there you go, platonic. So, do you think that any of that should enter the relationship or marriage from both sides, male or female? It doesn't matter. It does not matter. And I'll give you my
Do I
after you
think it
answer,
should
I'm gonna
be?
give you my perspective and how I've lived this and how it proceeds in my works with my life today. I'll give you my answer, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody, if you were in a relationship of any kind with somebody before, you're in a new relationship, any contact with that person is gonna raise red flags.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I believe that. A grain of salt, I do believe that. So I say that in my because my in my life, my situation, it was female because I wasn't a corn dog. I'm gonna call it a corn dog, not a horn dog. Well, yeah, I call it a horn dog. The word for it is a horn dog is what I call it. So I'm gonna say it. A horn dog. A
No,
horn
that's
dog is
fine, that's fine.
a guy at me that thinks with his second head and not his first head, his second head. First.
Right.
He thinks with his second head first. That's a horn dog to me. So I was the type of guy, well, I'm not a horn dog. I actually had friendship with women that I had intimate relationships with that I felt like I could have still had a friendship with without reaching that level and being involved with other women.
Mm,
But I don't think that it is substantial for a longevity relationship or marriage. I don't think it's substantial. And the reason
mm,
why is because there can be a lot of things in between that can happen towards the future that you don't wouldn't expect. Meaning your friend can see characteristics out of you that you have with your wife that she want, so she's going to flirt with you in a different way. This may come later, not during that time. It may be, she may have conversations with you that's not liking to your wife. Maybe it may be something you want to talk about with your friend. It could be about something you didn't like your wife did, to where she would talk to you in a way to where it's only, so, and I'm sorry, it's only self welcoming and self-giving to you and not understanding the situation. Which to me goes into your friends should not be in your marriage anyways. That go off top. Or family for that matter. Should have anything to do with your relationship or marriage. So that goes with that. But so that to me is some of the reasons why it always have a conflict. So me myself, I had a ton of female friends like that. I was just that type of guy. I didn't have many guy friends. I only probably had one best friend growing up, and that was it. All the other people was females, and they were all my friends. But in some way, form, or fashion, I may have relations with these women because of charm, whatever it may be. Who cares? But I had some type of relation with them, physical, mental, emotional, whatever you want to call it. And to where I
mm.
didn't feel like it was acceptable for me to bring it off into my marriage or my relationship with my new, significant other. I don't think
Yeah, that's the right call.
it's yeah, it's the right call. But the conversation we're having right now, as dull as you are right now, it's happening everywhere. The majority of human beings that have a relationship or have a significant other, they have brung friendships into their marriage, their relationships that is not as toxic as you would think it is or say it is, but in a longevity end of it, it could be. Not saying every this, I'm not speaking for everybody neither. I'm not saying and everybody deals with this. Somebody's gonna come back at me like, no, I've been married to my husband for over 30 years, and I've been with my friend for over 40 years, and we're fine. My husband loves my best friend. I'm not saying for everybody, but for
Well, that's an
majority of the
anomaly,
situation,
right?
it does
That's
not
an
work.
anomaly. And they say what? The exception to the rule doesn't disprove the rule,
Mm,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. That's cuz that's anything like that is going to raise suspicion. And as soon as you raise suspicion, you're encroaching on trust. And
Yes.
without trust, you don't even have a relationship. So that's probably the thing you need to guard more than anything.
Oh yeah. I mean,
But at the same time,
it's
you can't
yeah.
you can't give in to people's irrational
Mm.
clinging to distrust, right? Because like
Yes,
if you
yes,
give
yes.
somebody a reason to distrust you, or one of the people they know gives them a reason to distrust the situation, then maybe there's grounds. But a lot of people just want to do it just for fucking because they're insecure or whatever. That's kind of fucked up too.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, I don't know. I see everything from both sides. I don't know.
That means you don't see color. What are you talking about? Both sides. Relax. You don't see everything from both sides. What?
I do, dude. I told somebody this. I have this. I don't know if it's a gift or a curse that I can just see everything from both sides. Usually,
That's
like
heavy,
I already
man.
factored in your opinion, my opinion, the right opinion, the wrong opinion. By the time I reach my next opinion, that
Hey, hey, you're powerful. I
kind
can't.
of thing, right?
Hey, you got it, man. I can't. Wow, that's powerful. I can't. I don't know. I don't have that. I don't have that ability.
Well, it's the shoe on the other foot to the next level, right?
Hmm. Okay. Mm,
Because you want to see it from your shoes, which is easy to do. Now put
correct.
yourself in the other person's shoes, which is
Which
much
is
harder to
almost
do.
to me is impossible to do. But you can only get their perspective, but not feel those
You
shoes.
just gotta, I
It's
guess,
almost impossible.
empathy would be the route there because you're trying to feel what they
Mhm.
feel. You just flip the
It's almost
situation really
impossible.
and be like, all right, well, she's friends with that dude. How would she like it if I was friends with this girl? Or, I don't know, whatever the situation is,
And
right?
in most times, it's not the same. It doesn't compare the same. Then nobody is not really
Sure.
equal.
But
We already
especially
dealing
if you
with
know
this.
the if you know the person, that's a big advantage in that thinking. But you can also think
Wait,
in terms of generally people this, generally people that, right?
yeah. I feel like women have more passage in that and than men, and that was my reason for this questioning.
You think
Because
it's
I thought
more
we're gonna
okay
take
for
it there,
women?
but
You think it's more okay for women to have old relationships going on as at the
no,
same time
it's not that
everyone
it's
is?
yeah, it's just more common. And
Mm.
one of the major components in that, and you can disagree if you want, but it's mainly because they have and some of them have gay friends or friends that that's not that dissatisfied with women or her or will portray that at least. But what it seems as though they have no desire of anything in their best friend. But most of
Well,
them
that's
mainly
just behalf on weak men. Weak men will allow that. Then that's what it sounds like.
would allow what?
You say it's more common for women to have this kind of scenario than it is for men, or at least more
Correct,
acceptable
correct.
for women to have
Yes,
this kind of
correct.
scenario more than men.
It's not even a
But
doubt.
that's only weak men that allow that though. That's the simps out there. That's the what is
It's
the
we
Fuentes line.
before you get to make sure you're on the same page. I want to make sure I hear you correctly. You're saying it's weak men that will allow women to have a gay friend and they enter their their marriage or
Well,
whatever and accept them as a
whatever
gay friend reason being. So that what you telling me?
whatever friendships they deem unacceptable. If they let it continue, then it's those are weak men that
No, but
allow
that's
that.
why but that's why I'm saying it's more prominent in women because it's not deemed, especially not a gay man, but it's not deemed as disrespectful if a woman has a gay friend, you know,
Depends
portrayally.
on the dude. Depends on the dude. Some dudes really care about it. Some dudes don't give a shit about it. I don't know.
Majority, I'm talking about the majority. You said some and some. I'm talking about the majority here. The majority of dudes do not care, especially when it comes to gay. They, for one, we're most of us homophobic, so we're like, oh, whatever, yeah, leave that there, yeah, that's your friend, yeah, leave that. That's you and him. That's y'all what y'all got going on. So they leave that the way it is, you know. So, but that's why I say the majority.
Well, I think that
I'm
I
not
think
trying
a
to be
lot of
right
the
here. I'm not just trying to be
I
correct
think
in
a
the way
lot
that
I think if a lot of dudes let that slide, they would probably think it's less what would they say? It's
don't you say it.
less dangerous than her having more girlfriends because girlfriends can give toxic advice because that's just a spot that they want to fill or whatever. They just want to see their demise. I don't know. You know all the reasons that women don't trust women.
Yeah.
He's just going in there.
No, yeah,
But yeah,
it's
it's because yeah,
and that's
there
where
could be
I'm
a
at. I
million
feel like
reasons why, but I say though, if you allow the situations that you know you want your spouse to be in, especially with like older friendships or whatever the hell. I mean, you allow what you get. It's the same thing as anything. You get what you settle for in life.
so we've already stated before. I've never said this on camera, but I'm probably one of the most petty people you meet. I'm a nightmare for a girly girl. I am a
The
nightmare for
opposite of stoic, by the way.
I'm a nightmare. Stoic, opposite, whatever you want to call it. I'm only stoic when I need to be. I'm
Well,
stoic.
I know
I'm
you're
stoic when
leaning
I
into
need to
the
be.
stoic stuff
Not when I
lately,
want to
so
be. I'm
I
stoic when I need to be. Only stoic when I need to be. Not when I want to
oh,
be.
when it's
So
convenient, huh?
when it's convenient, I'm stoic. Not
Oh,
when
that's
all the
so
time.
bad.
I'd be a
That's
perfect
so
man
bad.
if I was stoic at
That's
all
so
times. I
bad.
wish. I wish I can be that. I'm not perfect, but yeah.
Well,
Um,
that's the aim, right? That's the aim. But you know, life
we,
happens.
we're not always there. We're not all always there. But well, our trigger get pulled. Few couple. Unexpectedly. I'll just say. But but yeah, to me, it's yeah. It's you only it's everybody's different. So, like I said, the majority of men I've met are submissive towards that simple fact because they don't want nothing to do with it. And to me, when you do that, you give up. You start to allow things for one,
You get
but
what
you
you
give
settle
up.
for.
Yeah, you sell for it. Yeah, you sell for it, not knowing the repercussions. At the end of the day, I've met
Mhm.
so many men in my life to where it
Well,
felt
they're
like a
being
good
naive.
thing. It
They're
felt
being
like so
naive at
much
the
of a.
beginning.
What's that? Say it again.
They're being naive at the beginning, right? They're doing this thing, but they don't realize
Yes.
the ripple effect it's going to have down the road, kind of thing.
Yes, yes. So many of us been there. Me myself is one. I'm a speaking testimony here. So I've been there to where to me we I think we brought this up was briefly earlier, but the fact that the things that I accepted or I allowed from the beginning was the things I felt that I would be rewarded for. That's what that came from. I didn't do it for the reason of just her benefit. Just in case you want to know, I know every man is different, but I did it. I did it with the thought of the benefit for the both of us, not just for her. Because it can easily remember happy wife,
Right.
happy
I
life. That
think
sound that sound like it go only one
that's
way. But to
probably
me, what's that?
that's probably what most people do it for is like the collective better.
No,
Well,
no,
I think
no.
most people would allow it really
No.
because they don't
Most
see a
no, no.
problem at the beginning. And most
Most
people at the
men,
beginning, they're like, I don't know why. I don't need to be worried about that. I'm not worried about that. Why the hell should I be worried about that? And then
no,
later you
most men.
start to see
This
things like
my perspective. PWP. My perspective is the perspective of the majority of men has been there. They've done it for the solely benefit of the not solely. I'm sorry. The benefit is for the woman because they believe in happy life, happy wife. They knew there was some, some attributes from it, but the majority of it was for the woman. I met so many men like that. Me, I'm telling you, and most women, y'all probably won't agree. I'm cool with that. But I believe in a balanced way of a relationship. I believe in the yin and the yang, baby. I'm a yin
yin
and
and
the yang type
yang.
of guy.
Yeah,
Like it should be a balance, not in a way
speaking
of
my language.
of control or in the way of you know, being yeah, having control in the situation. Because you could say, well, I can't, ain't no balance here. I pay all the bills. My man don't work. So what do you mean yin and the yang? Ain't no balance there. Where is balance? Because he could be better elsewhere. He could be
There's
better
always
somewhere else.
balance.
What's that?
There's always balance, or it would be broken.
Not everybody's yeah, but that's why most of the relationships are broken because no most people don't see it that way. They feel
Well,
like
I'm
if
not
I do
saying that.
this,
I'm
you don't
saying
do
that
enough.
in a way. Uh, if it was really that unbalanced, you guys wouldn't even be in a relationship. So
Yes,
just
you
because
will.
people accept things
Yes,
or
you will.
tolerate things or whatever,
Yes, you will.
no, no. If it's
Yes, you
if
will.
it's
Most
if
relationships are
the
driven. Most relationships are driven through what you do for me. This is me, like how I feel. Oh, she give me sex. My last girl didn't. I get sex every night. I get this. Oh, she bought me shoes. Nobody ever bought me shoes before my birthday. Wow. Most of it is self-driven. It's not about what that other person is getting, receiving. Sure, you hear, oh, she may like this, like that, but most of it is mostly self-driven. It's not mostly balanced, man. You think everybody's going for balance here?
No, I
No,
say
sir.
balance. I say balance in a way to where like they're getting enough of what they need, obviously, to make it balanced. So they're not going anywhere else. Because if they weren't getting what they need, they would go somewhere else.
In every I'm gonna say this with a bold term, and I'm gonna say most. In most relationships, there is a giver and a receiver. There's always some we touched this before. There's always a prize in every relationship. Somebody's a prize. It's not two people, it's not equal. It's always one prize. It's always one prize. And the way to find out who's the prize or not, if you would know, if of course if you're not both in love with each other or really mad over heels, is if this woman were to leave, will you be broken? How hard would you take that? If you were to leave, if whatever she's going through with you, how hard would she take that? You can figure out the prize so easily by knowing who is more invested into a relationship or a marriage than the other. It's always a difference. There's no
I think
balance really in that situation. That's why I always fight for balance in my own relationship, in my own life, because that's the thing we always
well
should be fighting for. It's balance.
the you just described the balance, honestly. I was gonna say something else, but you just described the balance because there's a giver and a receiver. That is a
Yes.
balance.
That's not balanced. No. If you're
Yes.
not giving and
How
receiving equally,
you can't have two
if
receivers.
I'm just a giver and you're just a receiver, there's no balance in that. I have to play both roles. What are you
That's
talking
the
about
complete
here?
balance. How do you not
Okay,
see the balance in that?
yeah, hold on. A complete balance is I can give and also receive, right?
One thing,
Huh?
right? We are talking about one thing in this, one relationship. Half of that is one person, half of that is the other person. One person is bringing half of the puzzle to the table, the other person is bringing the other half of the puzzle to the other table. That makes a whole relationship. That is
We
balance.
already discussed. You're talking back and you're under a rock, maybe, but we're talking back in old times. Today, that's not don't work anymore. That doesn't work. Even the women that want their own shit, they rather actually bring in their own money and bring their own income because they want to be little. They want to feel like you play this role and I play this role. They're like, no, I can do this too. Damn sure. And
Well,
actually,
this
I
is
can do more than you can do, so I really don't need you. That's another reason why marriage is not prominent more than ever. Not just because they're not getting married. Women, I told you that it's a whole nother balance. It's a level where there's a balance. Being balanced to me is not always great, but it has good substances. Back in the days, it did maybe like you're saying. One person did this, one person did that. That created a balance in the whole scenario. But nowadays, it doesn't work. Women,
well,
we
let's
have
say
more
it.
boss bitch
Let's say
energy
it.
more than ever. They don't believe in that anymore. It's over.
Mhm.
It's over. Even in my
The
marriage, it's
feminazis
over.
are running rampant.
My wife in a heartbeat would say, "Hell, I don't need you. If you don't want to put up with this, you can move on about your way." It has changed.
This is what I was talking about this is what I was talking about with the state being the daddy, though. State is the new daddy.
Yeah, we're not. They don't need us for
Yeah.
survival anymore.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
this is what
yeah,
happens. The state is now competing for daddyship, and it's not men no
mm,
more that they believe in because they think that
mm.
money will get them everything they need. But I guess when you play it
Control
out,
as well, not just
the
money,
only
but
thing that
control. But go ahead.
well, the
Control
only
has a
thing
lot to do.
that
Well, nothing. Control has a lot to do with
yeah,
it.
right.
If
But
the
there's a
woman is not,
song I like.
yeah.
There's a song I like where guy even says in the song, "You may have all you want, baby, but I got something you need." So Van
Uh,
Halen song. That was a
I
great
like
song.
that. Shot to that. Holy smoly.
Yeah, man. Because like, you can have all your
I like
material
that.
possessions you want in the world, and you're still gonna need a man.
Ooh, that's
You wanna
harsh.
go what do you want? You
Ooh.
wanna go on some, like, lesbian island and shit, and with all the riches in the world? How fun is that gonna be? I don't fucking know about that, dude.
Oh my god, a bunch of women. Oh my god.
That sounds like a
Good
lot
luck with that.
of,
Good luck with that.
I think
Women, remember,
HR is gonna
women
be
can't
pretty
get
busy
along
on
more
that
than
island.
men could. Just always remember that. Women get along less than men can get along with men.
Well, women don't trust women far more than men don't trust men.
There you go.
For
There
good
you go.
reason, I would say, but,
It's
So
little
this
of us to
balance
judge another
thing
man.
this
It's
balance
like
so
yeah,
in this balance thing, right? Like, I was
uh
trying to tell you, because even if you're getting the short end of the stick, like, say you're only getting this much and the
yeah.
other person's getting the rest of it, there's still a balance there because it's one whole unit still.
Mm.
There will reach a point where somebody's not getting what they need from the relationship, they will go somewhere else eventually. And that's when the balance is broken. There's a lot of factors, right? But that's kind of ultimately what it boils down to.
Yep. How about that? Catch me outside. She got her ass beat the other day. Holy shit.
What happened?
First, yeah, catch me outside. Girl, bad bar, whatever the fuck her name is. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. What happened?
Yeah, boyfriend beat her ass. It's all over the news type shit. Who cares? Who cares? He fucking whooped her. Some big black fucking runner back looking guy beat her ass
Of course
outside.
it is. Of course
Outside.
it is.
Whooped her ass outside. So she did get caught outside. I mean, what? She get caught
Oh
outside.
yeah. Well,
Oh yeah, knocked her ass.
what is this when the rappers they say the rappers talk about death enough, death is gonna come. Like you talk
Yeah.
about getting your ass whooped outside, eventually it's gonna happen.
Hey, so I done indulged myself.
Some people call it fate.
Yeah, fade my ass. Yeah, but she's fine. She's fine though. He'll be sued like hell. So whatever he has is
Well,
over.
he's famous now, so
Yeah, he is, but he's gonna lose more than he make on this case because he lose credibility and he lose money.
I don't know, man. I always think
I
about this
know.
stuff.
Oh, I
I'm
know.
like,
When it comes to that, it's over.
well,
When you come to you,
hold on. Are you aware of how much fan mail from females somebody like Ted Bundy got in prison,
hmm,
or Charles Manson, or all these crazy motherfuckers that get all these love letters from women and shit in prison? It's like, I don't know, man.
I'm not saying no to that, but I'm also saying that's still not enough for what they had in their previous lifestyle. Just just a mental note, something you need to remember. What they had before is not gonna is not that
Financially,
what
he's
they
not
have
gonna be
now gonna
fucked,
not mount
but
up to what they had before. Having like people that agree with your shit doesn't mean that you're gonna do doing better because you have that type of fan base other than the fan base that don't fuck with you. No. The one two people that paid you to got you there, those are the people that's gonna keep you going, not these people that just agree with you. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It's like R. Kelly. Ask him how it's
well,
going. He had a whole bunch of people with him, and still to this day, some of my family members love him still. They're like, no, I don't think that's right. But that doesn't mean they're not enough. They're not the ones buying his music. They're not the ones that's fucking paying and supporting him. They just telling about their feelings, how they feel about it. They're not putting money in his pocket. So just take that into accountability.
I was saying, financially, he might be fucked for a while, but
Oh yeah.
it's socially, he's more famous than he's ever been.
But is that his end game? But he being social his end game or making money on a mass scale level, level is that's
I
up
don't
to you.
know.
I guess up to him.
She got famous for getting socially popular. So I don't know.
That's a good one. Yeah, I just know I don't know, man. A black man beating a little tiny white
What
woman
do you say?
is way more
What do you say? No,
detrimental.
any
Yeah.
any any attention is good attention.
Yeah, all bad publicity is good publicity. Yeah,
There you go. In a nutshell, right there.
yeah. Depending on how much you get, but yeah, it all it's factors in that. Still, you got analytics. So without the
Sure.
analytics, I can't
Sure.
speak on it because I don't know if he's doing better or worse. So I
But
can't speak on
the analytics from the situation you won't see for a while because like can he capitalize on this social popularity for whatever reason? Maybe he comes
it.
out with a brand that's gonna
about
destroy
being
feminism or
how to slap
something.
a
He's gonna
bitch. No,
ride
it
that
don't work
wave.
like
I
that.
don't know.
Don't work. Try to find something good out of beating a woman in public. Go ahead. Try your best. Make some shirts. Do a
No, it's
podcast.
just
Try your best.
hey, Diddy will be home soon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Who that? What
I
is that?
said Diddy will be home soon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it will be home soon.
So I don't know. You could the rules ain't for everybody,
He's
guy.
never gonna
That's what
make it
I'm
the
gonna
amount of
say.
money as he made. He spent a whole ton of money through this whole situation. It once again, how much is worth it to you? Is it worth it for all your this fan base stay with you? If they're gonna support you, kudos, man. If you're gonna be supported just as much as you was before all this happened, kudos to you. It's what it means to you. That's all. It's all what it means to you.
Well, I mean, obviously, people in those shoes are thinking a little different, but as long as you're breathing air and you're not in a cage, you can bounce back from just about anything.
Oh, I
You want
believe
to
in
talk?
that.
You can talk about reputation and stuff, but that doesn't really. That's not reputation. Is how other people view you. That doesn't really affect your life unless you let it.
Yeah, representation also precedes your fan base as well, but that's just the way it is.
Well, that's the
People,
fans, the
that's
rep,
why
all that kind
being
of goes
canceled is a
together.
big thing. Was a big thing or still a big thing. It's just not as prominent as it
Okay,
was,
but
but
at the same time, any skills that he's acquired in business over the years, he still has those skills.
he does not have the same network though. Remember that. A lot of people he has just left
Well,
him, a lot of sponsors, a lot of
he's
companies, a lot of
famous enough.
a lot of writers, a lot of production company do not mess with it anymore. Even after he win this case, they're still not sponsoring him, still not going none of that. So no matter what that is, you still don't get that back. So what else you got?
No, he won't get his base back and stuff, but it doesn't matter as long as he can capitalize on a group of
Oh,
people
it
that will
matters.
follow
That's
him
what
because
got
there
them
will
there.
always.
That's why boycotting certain businesses matter for those business people. Those business people don't walk home and say, "Oh, I'm fine. I just go open something up in China." No,
Okay,
they're
okay,
hurting because
okay,
they put their
okay, okay. This is
lifelong goals and everything into that business. It don't work like that.
I think you're thinking way too much into it.
Oh, I am. I
So
think with anything,
is it easier to make money with $1,000 or $100,000?
$1,000.
You think it's easier to make money with $1,000 than it is with $100,000?
Yeah, because to me, a person that has $100,000, not is the majority. I'm talking about, not everybody. They're more reluctant and more not as strategic with the money because they don't know what it feels like to have to work with something, a little bit of something to make a lot of it or something. To me, I believe in the trickle effect, not the government effect.
That's
I'm gonna call it. I believe in the trickle down effect.
that's a crazy
Uh,
take. That's a
it's
crazy
for me,
take.
it is. That's just my memory. This is only
You of
PWP.
all people
This
know.
this is just my perspective
No,
of the purpose.
you
That's
of
all.
all people know that it takes money to make money.
Yeah, but it don't take a lot of money. I told you that as well. It doesn't take every. That's what keeps people back from starting their production, from doing anything.
It
And they think it
doesn't?
takes
Okay,
this big
so
thing. They
so
think it takes $100,000 to start a business. No, I think it takes $1,000
no,
to start a
no,
business. To me, you're better
that's
off to
not
make
what
more
I'm
money
saying.
with $1,000 because you're gonna actually do something with that more because you didn't have that $1,000. But somebody that has $100,000 to spend, they don't take that as serious as, to me, as somebody with $1,000 to get to that level. That's just me, my perspective. I've seen this many of times. People, once again, there's two
What?
entities to that. There's two entities to having $100,000
Okay,
trying to start a
okay,
business.
maybe
One of
maybe
them
this
is you're entitled to have it if you had it, and most people with it doesn't take it as serious enough. The people that doesn't have it and you afforded I'm sorry, $1,000 to do that same, to get to that same level, it's more of a hardship, more of a journey for you to get there. To me, you'll be more successful than the person that was given it.
hardship. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
just what I'm saying. That's all. And I'm only speaking for me. I'm not saying
How do
I'm
you
trying to
figure
be
the person with more hardship is going to have a
a better understanding
so
with a hundred
so you
thousand
have a thousand
yes, with
dollars.
success. With a better understanding with success than a person that already has success. Yes. I believe that cold heartedly. I've met too many freaking clients with children that's so entitled that have it all. They don't have a clue more than the person that's broke as hell that was obtained that. I've seen this too many times. People with nothing make something out of nothing more than the people that was given something make something out of nothing. That just what I've seen growing up in my life. I don't know where you've been, But in my life, the people
But
that earned it
that's besides the point, though.
from nothing, appreciated it more, and it was able to be more
But
successful in the long run.
you're
I'm
factoring
reconnecting.
skills and all kinds of other shit that doesn't
We're
apply
reconnecting.
here. Okay. But you factor in all kinds of other things about the people that I'm not talking about.
Oh, okay.
I'm
We're on two
talking
different
about
subjects.
if no, we're talking about money. We're talking about
Go ahead. Go
straight
ahead.
up
Go ahead. Go ahead.
money.
Tell me. Go ahead. Go
If
ahead.
you have $1,000 and somebody has $100,000, you're saying that the person with $1,000 is going to make more money than the person that starts with $100,000.
Who are you talking about here? Not everybody with $100,000 knows what to do with $100,000. What are you talking about here? You can't say that. You
That's
can't.
not
This
the
question is
point.
like rhetorical because you
You're
can't
talking about
say that. You're
know-how.
asking me a
I'm
person
not
with a
talking
hundred.
about know-how.
They can go smoke it
Person
up,
A,
dope. They can go crack it
person
up. That
A
what you
and
talking
person
about?
B. The
What are we talking about here?
I'm not talking about the person's personality at all. I'm talking about two situations where somebody has $1,000 and somebody has $100,000. Who's gonna make more money in the next year?
I can't answer this question. I can't. This is not for me. I can't answer this question because everything I say, I feel like you're not gonna
Typically, the
you're
person
not
with
listening.
$100,000 is gonna make far more money than the person who has $1,000. Far
Okay,
more money.
okay,
Because
that's your
people with a
perspective.
lot of money, they just live off the
That's not right.
interest. That's the
That's your
thing. People just
perspective.
live off interests
That's your
at some
perspective.
level.
That's your perspective. That's your perspective, man. It's your perspective. It's not right.
No,
That's not
you know it
true.
takes money to make
I know
money.
people that made 100,000, more than $100,000, my age, and right now they don't have that. They're not successful. I'm more successful than they are right now, and I started with nothing. That doesn't matter. They started way more than I did. They had parents that gave them money. I didn't have that. They're in the worst position than I've ever been in right to this day. What do you, I don't, that's your perspective, brother. That's not mine. My perspective, the people I've known, where I've grown, what I've seen, the majority of people that was given or was afforded more than others had less success than the ones that started from nothing with the $1,000 you're talking about, and we're trying to get to the level that the person with $100,000 has. That's what you're asking me here, and I'm telling you, the majority
All
of
right,
people that
all right,
I've
all right, all
seen
right.
in my life, not the ones that already had $100,000. Like, not everybody with $100,000 is more fortunate or has a more success
All
rate than
this,
someone with only a
all
thousand dollars to
this,
start off with. It doesn't work that way, man. That doesn't work.
all this to say that you think he's ruined and he won't be coming back and this and that. And it's just like, dude is gonna get his money, no doubt. And he'll be doing whatever he wants. And it doesn't matter about his rep, and it doesn't matter about his fan base, and it doesn't matter about his shit. Because he can be a rich motherfucker without any fucking real fan base. People do it all the fucking time.
Not everybody have that, and no, but all right, they agree and disagree here because this one is not gonna. It's gonna be a beaten dead horse because you're talking. And I feel like in your mind you have somebody you've seen this already, and that's okay because I'm telling you that's your perspective. Because from my perspective, I've seen many others that was challenged
No,
by
this is
people
just
like,
about Diddy. This is just about Diddy, really.
what about him? It
This
won't
is
be. He
just
won't be as
about Diddy, really. I
successful.
was trying to come back to
He
Diddy.
would never
Like,
be as successful he's ever been since before this. Never, never. Same thing with R. Kelly.
there's no
Same thing
telling,
with
really.
Cosby. Same thing with everybody has to go through this. When they take you through this ring, we actually talked about this earlier, how society has changed where you can be penalized for things you've done in the past. And it doesn't always hold merit. So he's gonna be okay. I don't doubt that.
Right.
He just won't be as successful as he was before. It ain't gonna work like that. I'm
I
sorry.
think
The
there's
times
no
has
telling,
changed.
man. There's
He'll
no
never be
telling.
as successful
As
as
long
he
as
was
you
before.
come away with as long as you come away with a little pot of money, man, you can make anything happen.
I ain't saying he won't. I just said not as much as he's successful as before. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be happy. He's gonna be eat good. I'm not denying none of that. All I'm saying is he will never be successful in that realm of like
I think
artistry and producer. And he will never be there again because of all the bridges and burned, all
um,
the business his business has been put out, all the ridicule and all this. He has a bad tarnish on his name. It's not gonna work anymore.
I think
Same
you're
thing happened to R.
defining
Kelly.
success in this way with his I think you're defining success in this way with his reputation and his base and his followers
No,
and
I'm
stuff.
finding with his
But
money,
I would
income,
I
and his
would bet
reputation.
that
I'm not doing that. Money and reputation, I
I said
said.
that his reputation and stuff.
Reputation and money.
Well, his
It won't
fan
be the
base,
same.
his followers, but his success is kind of the money, isn't it?
His success is always going to be success compared to me and you. Anybody could, anybody that's making more than $100,000 in there every month or every day is successful and more compared to me and you. Depending on how much you weigh success. Like, yes, he's going to be fine. I agree. I'm gonna keep saying over and over. He will be fine. People like him. He just won't obtain as much success as he had before. That's all I say there. That's all. And I'll
I
go
don't
far
know.
as to say
I don't
that'll
think
be a
there's any fault.
fact. Not a, I'm not trying to be right. I feel like that'll be a fact
This
is
would
that
be this would be this
he will
could be
not.
another one of those situations if you think that though that no press is bad press, it could be another one of
It's
those.
not. It's not at all. Now, but who's to say that
It's just
bad press want to pay as
opening different doors.
just bad press don't pay as good as both good press and bad press. It doesn't. Just having one don't you it doesn't. Is I'm just stop there. It's not the same. So yeah, just having bad press over having good press and bad press. You tell me what makes the most money. It goes back into that you knowing me as a
Well,
chameleon. I feel
that's
like
the expression, right? Well,
what's that?
that's the expression is no press is bad press, right? Because you
Is
can get
yeah.
attention or money from either one.
Either one, but just having one is not enough. From weighing out his success, it is not enough. Not it's be enough for him. I'm saying
Having
it's
one is
not.
not enough.
It won't be the same. I'm not going to use that term, not enough, because who knows what's enough for him. But I'm talking about it won't be. It won't equal the
Yeah,
same.
it'll
That's
never be
all.
the same.
That's all I've been saying for the last 5, 10 minutes. Yeah, it won't be the
They
same.
say no man ever walks through the same river twice, for he is not the same man, and it is not the same river. So
Yeah,
it'll never be the same, but
never, never be the
that'll be
same.
fine. That's kind of crazy though. It's kind of fucked up, man. I mean, you look at situations like that and you just realize that the rules ain't for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. What you gonna do?
That makes you want to throw the whole goddamn thing in the trash.
Not me. I just keep pushing, man. I just gotta keep pushing. I don't know. I let everything move me.
Well, I say that in a way to like fuck the rules. Is maybe that'll wake people the fuck up and say fuck the rules, because obviously the rules don't apply to everybody.
It don't, but I will say the more majority of the time I've broken the rules, I've came out on top. And I came out with better understanding because I was too cautious or I was too, you know, I don't know, not as passive. So it's I don't know, it put me in a position where I didn't take the chance. I didn't do anything about it because I thought about the rules too much.
Well,
But yeah.
there's a Twain line on this a little bit says that you need two things to succeed in life: ignorance and confidence.
Mm, ignorance and confidence. The real
Well,
deal.
yeah, he says you need two things to succeed in life: ignorance and confidence.
Yeah, I can find that
Because
true.
you know, if you knew all the pitfalls, you never would have started the thing to begin with.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
It's fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah. Sure enough. Sure enough.
That's fucked up.
Kind of fucked the A is what it
You
is.
have to be a little dumb to even succeed. Oh, that's so
Oh yeah,
terrible.
for sure. Because succeeding comes
Because
with learning.
even like the content creation thing, right? It's like I said about the podcast before. And be like, how to make a podcast. Step one out of a million. I've heard so many creators say that too. They're like, if I had known how hard this was gonna be, I never would have fucking started.
Mm,
Because there's just like some millions of layers to all of the stuff, you know? Like, I just want the onion. And then you start peeling back the layers and be like, there's more? There's more?
oh yeah,
Uh, what's that?
life, man.
But I don't know. We'll catch up though. I think it's a good place to call it.
Think
We'll
so.
catch up.
Yeah, we'll
Everybody
catch
like and
up. Be good.
subscribe, and we'll do what we do.
I appreciate it.
Pretty Jedi
Thanks, man.
out.
Thanks. Thanks.